Hello and welcome to your mat. My name is Stacey and I'll be guiding you through this gentle yoga practice today. I usually recommend that you have a yoga block and a yoga strap available for your practice, but you can use any other household items that are similarly shaped: a rolled up towel, a pillow, stack of books. You can use a dog leash, a tie, or a long thin towel instead of a strap. Whatever you have available will do. So you can go ahead and get what you need for your practice, and I'll meet you in Shavasana on your mat. Go ahead and find your way onto your back into your Shavasana. Take a few minutes to really settle into the space you've chosen for your practice. Take a few long, slow breaths in and out through your nose. Just feel the belly rise and fall with every breath as it moves through your body. Allow the arms and legs to be as wide away from you as space allows. Softening through the wrists and ankles. Fingers and toes relaxed. Maybe you close the eyes completely. Just using this as your opportunity to really let go of anything that's happening off of your mat. Anything you may have encountered throughout your day, or any anticipations of your week to follow. Using your breath as a tool to be present in this moment. And following each breath in as the belly rises, and each breath out as it softens and falls. Start to welcome a little bit of movement into the fingers and toes. Find some gentle rotations through your wrists and ankles. In both directions. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. Put your arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch as you inhale, lengthen from fingers to toes. As you exhale, let it go. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale to soften. One more time, big full body stretch. Exhale, let it go. Bring your arms back to your sides. Start to bend through the right knee. Bring the sole of your right foot onto the floor. With the right knee bent, start to tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg for reclined tree pose. Now, if you find you have a big gap underneath of the right knee, you can always place your block there for some support, or simply slide your foot down your leg closer to your ankle, closer to the hips so that your heel is, the more of a stretch you're going to be feeling here. So just choose the height that feels best for you. Whatever arm variation your body is asking for, maybe the arms are at your side, maybe they're up overhead, one hand on the belly and heart. Ground down through the left hip as the right knee grows heavy into your mat. With or without the help of the right hand, draw your right knee back through center. Hug the right knee in towards your chest, interlacing your fingers around it. Stay heavy through your right hip. Keep reaching the right hip away from your shoulders and down into the mat as you hug the right knee in close. Your left leg remains active, left toes are drawn towards your face. An option to stay here in the center in your wind relieving pose, or you could start to guide your right knee over towards the outer right shoulder. Creating a little bit of space from the right knee in the midline. You're going to feel your left hip try to lift up. Can you send it back into your mat? Option to bring your left hand onto the left hip, encouraging it down into the ground and maybe even slightly to the left. Left foot can stay centered, or you can slide that to the bottom left corner as well, creating as much distance between the left pinky toe edge and the tip of the right knee. Big breaths in and out through your belly. Maybe you stay in stillness, maybe you take circles with the right knee. In both directions. Moving slowly, moving mindfully, really listening to the body here. What is it trying to tell you? Where are the areas of tension? As you come through that point of tension where you feel the stretch most, pause there and breath. Left hip stays heavy, creating space, a little bit of softness with every breath. Draw the right knee back through center. Hug the right knee in as the left leg finds center as well, still long. We're going to move into a twist. Take the right knee, bring it across your body over to the left. You can stack the right hip on top of the left. Release your right arm at your side. Option to place your block beneath the right knee, just to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Lionel has found some leftover cookie crumbs in the carpet. Hopefully you can see what's going on. Not just do your best to find a twist. Filling your lower right belly with breath. Bring your gaze back through center. Let your right knee find center as well. Right knee hugs in towards you. Start to bend through the left knee. Bring the sole of the left foot onto the floor as well. This is a great opportunity to find a little bit of space in your low back if you find laying with your legs extended long is uncomfortable. Reach for your strap if you have one. Loop it over the ball of the right foot, just at the toe mounds. Start to send the right foot up towards the sky. Use your strap to direct the toes towards your face, flexing at the ankle. Right hip is heavy in the mat, length up the right side body. Option to extend your left leg long or keep it bent at the knee. See if you can find some softness in your arms. You want to be holding onto the strap, but you shouldn't have tight fist here. You shouldn't necessarily be flexing at the biceps and tiring out your upper body. Just use the hands to stabilize the strap. Let the strap do the work for you. You can have as much or as little bend in the right leg as you like. As long as you're feeling a stretch at the back of the right thigh. Maybe pressing the toe mound of the right foot into the strap firmly. Applying some pressure for 3, 2, 1. Ease off that effort. Maybe you're able to go a little bit closer towards the floor behind your head with your toes. Pressing into the toe mounds for 3, 2, 1. Soften. One more time. Press into the strap for 3. Keep the right hip drawn away for 2. And 1. Ease off. Take a few circles with the right leg. See if you can keep the knee as straight as it was for your stretch. Circle in the opposite direction. Release your strap. Bend the right knee. Coming into half happy baby here. So option to just bring the right knee over towards the outer right shoulder again. Stay there. Or you can bring your right arm up the inside of the right leg. Reach across the shin. Take hold of the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Your right knee is reaching down towards the floor beside you. It does not have to touch. The sole of the right foot is working towards facing the sky with a bend in the knees. Option to bend the left knee if that's a little bit too much with the leg extended. You can even tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot, just creating a little bit of counterbalance for your pose. Because my right knee is close to the ground, sometimes I like placing the block underneath of it, just to give my thigh bone something to press into. Feel a sense of the ground being a little bit closer to me. Just being aware that there are multiple heights of the block to choose from, and that it is not necessary for this pose. It's just if it feels good in your body. Slowly release your right foot. Extend both legs long to the bottom of your mat. Find a mini shavasana here. noticing any subtle changes from one side to the other. Reconnecting with your breath. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. You're taking some little circles with your ankles, pointing and flexing, getting out any creaks or cracks. And we'll bend the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot onto the floor. Tip onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot, bring the sole of the left foot onto the inner right leg. Maybe you're high up towards the pelvis on the thigh, or maybe you're closer down towards your knee or ankle. Option to place a block beneath the left knee for some support. Choose whatever arm variation feels best today. Continue directing the right hip into the mat, the outer left knee down towards the ground. Hold on to that activation. Find some softness through the upper body. Slide your shoulder blades beneath you. Relax your jaw. Let the arms be effortless. Without the help of your hand, draw the left knee up through center. Bring the left knee in towards your chest, interlacing the fingers around it. And lengthen the whole body from the right heel to the top of your head. The hips are even, so that means probably drawing the left hip away from the shoulders, the right hip slightly towards it. Keep squeezing the left knee in. Stay in the center or start to send the left knee towards the outer left shoulder. You can use the right hand on the right hip if it helps to press it firmly into the mat. Keep it stable. And then option to slide the right foot to the bottom right corner of the mat. Choose stillness or take slow motion circles with just the left thigh bone, stirring it like a cauldron. We focus on stabilizing the right side of your body. Resist temptation to sway from side to side. Moving slow enough that you're able to appreciate the areas of tension where your circles get a little bit jagged. Circle the opposite direction. As you come through a point of tension, pause there. Find where you feel the stretch most, and offer your body a few breaths in it. Filling your belly with breath. Using the breath as a tool to stay present on your mat. Not racing ahead to what's to come, or holding on to the past. The breath is current, the here, the now. Stay with it. Slide your left knee back through center. Right foot finds center as well. Big stretch, lengthening through the whole body. Find your twist. Crossing the left leg over the body. Option to use your block. If you feel like you have room to get the knee closer to the floor, see how it feels to support it. Whether it's a block or a towel, just something, let the body feel safe. Choose the gaze that feels best. With the body feeling safe in this position, you'll notice that it's able to sink deeper into the pose. When we try to force something, the muscles panic, they start to clench and tighten. When we support the body, it begins to feel safe, the muscles relax, release, lengthen, which is what we're working for today. Find your way back through center. Left knee hugs in. Loop the strap over the ball of the left foot. Send it up towards the sky. You can have the knee bent or extended long, whichever feels best. Right sole of the foot is on the floor or extended long. As much or as little bend as you need in the left leg, as long as you're feeling a stretch at the back of the left thigh. You find some softness in this pose. The left leg is active, but the rest of your body can soften and relax. You start to find that enough by pressing firmly into the toe mounds, into the strap, as if you're stepping onto a gas pedal for 3, 2, 1. Soften the stretch. Maybe the toes move a half an inch closer. Press firmly into the strap for 3, 2, 1. Release. Maybe you're able to go just a little bit deeper yet. Keep that left hip lifted, lowered rather. We often like to cheat the system and we'll lift our hips up to make it look like our toe is making it further behind us. That just brings a stretch into your low back, and we're looking for a stretch in the back of the leg here. So stay long through the low back, the pelvis is heavy. Press into the toes one more time for 3. Keep the hip down for 2. And 1. Slowly release. Find your depth for 1 full breath. And then release your strap. Start to bend the left knee towards the left shoulder. Right leg can extend long. You can bring your left hand through to the inside of the left thigh, across your shin for the pinky toe edge of your foot, half happy baby. Right leg extended or bent. If the right knee is bent, option to tip onto the pinky toe edge, creating that counterbalance with your leg. And if the left knee is close to the floor, consider sliding a block beneath it. Once again, letting the body feel supported in the pose. You'll be surprised how much more space you're able to find when the body feels safe. And take a long breath in through the nose. Slowly exhale. Big breath in. Slowly release. Hold on to that slow rhythm of breath. You can always use your strap over your foot if this is maybe not quite accessible to you, or you can hold on to your ankle or pant leg. Come back onto the sole of the right foot, slowly release the left. Give the legs a little sway from side to side. Let the soles of your feet come to touch, knees open up like a book, creating a diamond shape with the legs. The closer the heels are to the pelvis, the more of a stretch you'll be feeling. So to ease off, slide the toes closer to the bottom of the mat. Maybe you place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. The awareness is on the breath. Noticing the little movements that come along with it. The rise and fall of the hand and chest on your body as you breathe. Without the help of your hands, draw the knees up through center. Right arm reaches up overhead. Roll onto your right side body. Draw your knees in towards you. Rounding through the back body, settle in. Moving slowly between transitions of poses. Enough fast-forward motions in our day. These brief opportunities that we land on our mat, take advantage of a slow pace. Linking movements to breath, slowing the breath, and thus slowing the movement. And when you do feel ready to get up, we're going to find our way to tabletop. Landing in your tabletop position, shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. Find a few cat and cow. And with a big breath in, lift your tailbone, belly drops. Pull your heart forward and up. Cow pose. Scoop your tailbone first, lift your belly button towards the sky. Press firm through the hands as you hollow out your chest and gaze to the belly for cat. Big breath in, lifted tailbone. Heart comes forward and up. Exhale, scoop the tailbone, press those palms. Hollow out your chest and look to the belly. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Pause in your neutral spine. option to stay with that same variation of cat and cow, or you can lower down onto your forearms. We're going to keep the hips stacked above the knees, but now it's the elbows underneath of the shoulders. Palms are on the floor, fingers spread wide, arms are parallel with each other. From here, big breath in, find your cow-like back, lift your tailbone, belly drops, draw your heart forward, gaze up. Exhale, scoop your tailbone, round in the spine, hollow out the chest, really send that space between your shoulder blades up to the sky, and look to your belly. Find your neutral spine. Either of the first two variations, or keep the elbows where they are directly under the shoulders. Walk your fingertips towards the edges of the mat, the top corners of your mat. So instead of the arms being parallel, they're a little bit wider at the hands than they are at the wrist. Doesn't have to be much, barely even visible difference. Just a little bit of an external rotation of the arms. Be mindful of any injuries. Come on up to a regular cat and cow. Take a big breath in, lift your tailbone, belly drops. Draw your heart forward and up. Think about drawing the elbows towards your knees. Exhale, scoop your tailbone, send the space between your shoulders up to the sky. Cat back. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Either variation, take 3 more at your own pace. No rush to get there, but when you've finished your 3, just land in a neutral spine. Bring the palms onto the mat if they're not already there, tabletop. Big toes come to touch, knees go wide apart. Send your hips back, child's pose. Let your forehead come to rest on the floor or your block. Fingertips are sliding away from you, press down firm through them. Settle in. From your child pose, start to walk your hands towards the top right corner of the mat. Sink your left hip low towards your left heel. The forehead continues to rest on a support. Notice if the left armpit is lifting up away from the floor, can you direct it back down? Walk your hands back through center. Full breath here. And send the hands over to the left. Come back through center. Full breath here. Rise up to tabletop. From your tabletop, we're going to move into puppy pose. So for puppy pose, the hips stay lifted as if they're in a tabletop, directly over the knees. The hands are going to walk forward. So we're not shifting the hips back to a child's pose, they're staying stacked. The hands will slide forward as the heart starts to melt down towards the floor. Option here to bring your block beneath your chest, bringing the floor a little bit closer to you. Gaze is down towards the mat. Forehead resting on the floor. Keep sliding your fingertips away from you, pressing them firmly into the ground to activate the arms. The hips stay lifted. Just a few more breaths here. Really focus on lengthening the inhale and softening the exhales. From here, we're going to rise up, come up however it works for you. Sometimes it's helpful to bend the arms first. With the legs a little bit more narrow this time, send the hips back towards the heels. Belly rest between the thighs, have as much space as you need between them to feel comfort. Forehead comes onto the mat for a narrow leg child's pose. Send your arms back beside you, palms face up. Relaxing through the upper body. Heavy through the hips. Sweep the arms up overhead. Tabletop pose. The right leg's going to extend long behind you. Tuck your toes. Lower the toes onto the mat. Maybe you take a little rock forwards and backwards, so it's as if you're trying to step the right heel to the mat. Shift the shoulders over the wrist. Back again. Just moving a few little forward, backwards motion. The next time your heel comes down towards the mat, pause there. Right leg is straight. The right heel is reaching down as if it's trying to step onto the mat. Play with the weight between the big toe mound and pinky toe mound of your right foot. See where you feel the stretch most. Always the option for a towel or a pillow beneath the left knee for cushion. And shift the shoulders over the wrist. Turn the right toes to face the right side of the room. Bend your right knee, step forward. Top right corner of your mat. A nice wide stance for your lunge here. I want you to be really light on the right toes. So you should be able to move freely with the leg, as much or as little bend in the back leg as you need. We're going to start to take some little hula hoop circles with the hips. So again, it's really important that the foot be able to pivot with your leg. If we ground down through the foot and take those circular motions, you're going to put extra torsion on the knee, and we don't want that. We want the heel to be our pivoting point, not the knee joint. Circle the opposite direction. Land at your depth. Heel toe, the right foot through center. Frame it with your hands. Find your low lunge. Again, you can have your legs bent a 90 degree at the back as long as you're finding a stretch up the front of the left thigh. If you notice the right knee is jetting beyond the right ankle, it's probably a sign that you're able to send your left leg back a little bit further. Widen your stance a little bit to support your balance. And keep weight on the big toe mound of the right foot. Think about drawing the right heel to the back of the mat, the left knee to the front without actually moving them. If you have troubles in lunges, I do have a video, one of the short reels, that shows you some modifications that you might be able to use to help you out in that position. From here, start to walk the hands back towards the hips, come up onto the heel of the right. Send your left hip back towards the left heel. Long, flat spine. So we're looking for a spine that's somewhere between a cat back and a cow back. You want your neutral spine. Think about drawing your heart beyond your ankles and your forehead beyond your toes. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg. Become light on the left foot. We're going to start to pivot. So bend the right knee as you pivot. Lower the right foot. So the right foot's now facing the front of the mat. And the back leg is on the knee. We're going to just take a few little shifts from side to side here. So we're just sending the right knee beyond the right toes and coming back through center. You can have the left toes either tucked or untucked, whichever is most comfortable. Any discomfort in any joints, please come out. Taking 2 more in each direction. Lower your hands to the mat. Pivot the left foot again, so we're going to lift the left foot. We're pivoting to face the front. Right hand comes to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe, outer edge. Shift your hips back, slide the right foot to meet the left. We'll take a few hip dips from side to side. So sending the hips over to the right, the center, and over to the left. Just a little swaying motion from side to side. Let go of any tension. Find your center. Left leg extends long. Tuck your toes and lower them to the mat. Shoulders are starting over the wrist, but we're going to start doing that little forwards and backwards motion with our body. Keep the hips as even as you can. We're just rocking as if you're trying to send the left heel down to the mat. Next time it lowers, pause there. We're sending the left heel inner side, outer side of the left heel down towards the mat evenly. Send your shoulders back over the wrist. Left toes point to the side wall. Bend your left knee, step forward. Top left corner of your mat. Take as many steps as you need to get there. You can even use your hand to pick up your foot and move it forward. The toes of the left foot can point out slightly, but there's little to no weight in them. We're going to allow that to pivot. Start to take those hula hoop motions with your hips. Both directions. Pause in the center. Find your depth. And then heel toe, heel toe. The left foot through center. Frame the left foot. Find your variation of a low lunge. So maybe your back leg is extended long and straight like mine. Maybe you prefer more of a bend as long as you're feeling a stretch up the front of the thigh. Left knee continues to point in the direction of the left toes. Even weight on the big toe mound, pinky toe side of your foot. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. At the same time, drawing the outer hips and thighs away from each other. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Coming up on the heel of the left foot, draw the toes towards your face. We'll be focusing on a long spine here. Think about drawing the left heel towards the back of the mat without actually moving it. Shift a little bit of weight forward, bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg, let it find the floor. We're light on this right foot. Keep the left toes pointing forward. We're gonna pivot to face the side of the mat. Lower the right foot down for a kickstand. Left foot lowers. Hands can stay on the floor or you can rise up. So now the toes are pointing away from the right knee. We're nice and tall. The right knee's pointing forward to the long edge of your mat. Start to shimmy over to the left, so you're coming to the inside of the right knee here. Come back through center. Send the left knee forward. Come through center. Take a few more, follow your own rhythm of breath. Again, it's perfectly safe, unless you're dealing with an injury, to allow your knee to come beyond the ankle, as long as it's pointing the same direction as the toes. If it starts to sway in and out, that's where you're going to start to end up with injuries in the knee joint. Come up to hold. Lower the hands. Light on that right foot. We're going to pivot back. Hands are to the inside of the left foot. Shift your hips back, slide the left foot to meet the right. Take that gentle sway of the hips from side to side. And let your big toes come to touch, the knees go wide apart. Shift your hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Let your forehead go forward towards the mat. Maybe letting this one be a little more passive. So supporting your child's pose with pillows, with bolsters, blankets, whatever you have available. So let this be more restorative. Bringing a bend into the arms. Let the arms go soft, passive. Close the eyes. So option to finish your practice here in your child's pose. It is a great option for a restful pose. Applying gentle pressure to your third eye, that little point between your eyebrows, stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system. Maybe a little rock from side to side on your forehead, massaging it. Or if you prefer, finding your way into your Shavasana. Whichever option you choose, offer yourself a few minutes of stillness. Resist temptation to get up and go. Our days are so busy, almost rushing from task to task. Just invite yourself a few more minutes, a few more breaths of stillness. when you feel ready to go, try just a few more breaths yet. Each time you'll find it's easier and easier to stay longer. The mind will become quieter, the body at ease. And it is with such gratitude that I join you in practice here today and always. Namaste.